I think everyone's had the experience where there's a spill, whether you like the sink overflows when you're doing the dishes, or you spill a cup of water. Maybe you've gone downstairs in the basement and around that floor drain, you've noticed a puddle of water. I think all of us like reach for a rag or a towel or something, clean it up, maybe like try and dry it out. Here's the thing. We're going to talk about on this episode whether or not that's the right thing to do, because there are different levels of contamination when it comes to the water that can be in your home. Everything from clean water to a sewer backup. And you're going to want to pay attention to this episode. So let's go. Yeah, we just wait for the music to stop.
That's our cue. All right.
And then we roll into it.
All right, here we go.
Well, In the House is a podcast about the major systems in the house: electrical, plumbing, heating, air conditioning. We usually bring an expert in. We pick a topic that involves maintaining, repairing, understanding your home as a homeowner. We discuss that topic in depth today. I am joined by Jesse Wheeler, my friend here at Any Hour Services.
Thank you.
So, Jesse, you brought up like that there's a lack of understanding on a lot of homeowners' parts about the level of contamination in water, and we deal with varying levels of contamination, right?
Yeah, we do.
And I think when people hear water contamination, or at least in my mind, I think like Flint, Michigan, can't drink the water, right?
Right.
But it's not exactly what we're talking about. Usually the city, the municipalities, they'll send out some kind of warning if there's like that kind of contamination. So we're not necessarily talking about know when you can and can't drink the water. Like we said in the intro, we're talking about water spills and runs around the house all the time, and how do we clean that up? Whether it's a bathtub that's like in a bathroom that's like the kids are splashing around, you end up with water all over the floor. You just clean that stuff up, right?
Right.
So let's talk about when just cleaning up a spill is okay to do and when it's not.
Okay. So water can come from anywhere. And like you had said earlier, to help educate or understand the systems of your home. And one of the most important things for a homeowner to understand is when you can do it, and when you shouldn't do it, when it's outside your expertise and you need to call a professional. And so,
when they can do what?
Clean up water.
Oh, got
it. Sorry about that. But so there's a couple of things that you as a homeowner can clean up all the time. If your kid's in the bathtub splashing around, it splashes, no problem. If you spill a cup of water or whatever, you just forget to leave the faucet on at the sink and it spills over, you're cleaning that up. No problem. That's clean water, hasn't been touched, hasn't been contaminated. Dry it up before it causes damage for sure. But one of the ones that we've seen in the past is when it goes down into the sewer. So you've used your toilet, or your bathtub is drained, or your dishwasher, clothes washer, all those things have drained. They've gone down in the sewer. You've had a backup, and it comes back up. That is something that is outside anybody that's not a professional's range.
So if you look at the water that's spilled and you go, ew.
Yeah, right.
Before you think about cleaning it up, that could be an indication that like water's probably not the cleanest.
Right, or it smells pretty bad.
Right.
But yeah, that's the one you got to be careful of, because those ones actually contain a lot of bacteria, a lot of pathogens, a lot of things that can be harmful to you, to anybody in the home. So including pets. And I know there's a lot of pet lovers out there. I got 2 dogs. I love my pets. I'd hate for them to accidentally be drinking that water up, because it can make them sick and God forbid, deathly ill. So that's the one you got to be careful of. And there's a lot of signs for that. Is one, smell, or you got food. You look at the ground, you go, why is there toilet paper on my floor? That's a good sign that is black water, a heavily contaminated spill, or a heavily contaminated backup. And those are the ones you want to call a professional for. And when I say professional, I mean somebody that's their line of work. They're a mitigation company. They clean up sewage. A lot of those companies will do work for police departments and things like that, and investigations and scenes of that nature. Crime scene, yes.
So there's a difference in a plumber who works on all of the stuff, which is, something probably broke or something happened with the plumbing that caused that to happen. And you might think I need to call a plumber, but you really need to call someone who their specialty is remediation. And it's like, yes, they'll clean it up, but you were saying something that was interesting. It's not just about drying the water, it's about disinfecting the area as well.
Yeah, disinfectant. So that's what your mitigation companies will do. They have the correct tools and the cleaning supplies that can disinfect that kind of stuff without harming the home. It's not just your general, Windex or countertop cleaner. It is powerful stuff that kills that bacteria. And so like you said, you want to call that professional, get that cleaned up. You still need the plumbing fixed. So you want to get the plumber out and get that fixed afterwards so it doesn't happen again. But yes, those teams have the adequate equipment for themselves and the equipment to clean the home and disinfect it so that you can go back about your life. We've seen in the what makes it a danger is when a homeowner goes in there and just, it's just water. It is what it is. It smells a little weird or whatever. And then they use their own towels or things like that. But then that goes into your laundry because you're going to clean it unless you threw it out. And then that's in your washer. And then you put that back into your home, or if it's your kids' clothes, which we've seen it spill on kids' clothes, or bedding. And now the bacteria in those things are circulating throughout the home. It's no longer an isolated incident. And then it can still be harmful even though you thought you cleaned it up.
So is there because I'm thinking about, there's plenty of times if you've had kids, you've had them miss the toilet and there's all kinds of contamination on the floor,
Also,
right?
Right.
Never called a remediation company.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, right. Always clean that up. But I think one of the key points there is just making sure that you're using some kind of disinfectant. Is there a bathroom? Do most bathroom cleaners, like the sprays and the stuff like that, do they have disinfectant included, or is it best to get a bleach solution and disinfect that way?
So the types of disinfectants that your mitigation companies use is very specific, and so because what they're cleaning up is a mixture of waste. So if you have a child who misses the seat or, misses poop on the seat or whatever, you're talking about that. You're talking about poop only. You're talking about pee only or toothpaste only. But once you get to a sewer line, you've got all the mixture, pee, makeup, any bodily fluids, anything you're washing off your body, all the food. So it's a conglomeration of all sorts of waste, and so you need a much more powerful mixture of disinfectant. Nothing you're really just going to go buy off the shelf at Walmart, Costco, or anywhere like that. And so I don't know their exact mixture. I do believe some bleach is in it, but I wouldn't resort to just bleach yourself. Bleach can be harmful depending on the surface you're putting it on.
But if it's something basic that you're not worried about your health, just a basic cleaner. I'm trying to go back to, it's not just about wiping it up and drying. You need to clean it with some kind of soap or disinfectant as well.
Yeah, you got to kill that for sure. Yeah, okay. I totally understand that.
So really, is there a situation besides a sewer backup that the average homeowner is going to be dealing with, where it's the black water?
Yeah, so when you're talking black water, it's not sewage per se. It's not directly from the toilet. Okay, what makes it black water is it touched the sewer. And so your sewer line doesn't have water in it all the time, right? You flush it, or you drain a tub, or you run a dishwasher or something like that, and then the water's gone, and now you have all of the waste sitting there with air on it. So now she's incubating. And if you leave town for a few days, or you go to work for 8 hours and nobody's using the sewer, all of that waste and material is sitting in the sewer line with no water running on it, no way to clean it, no disinfectant. And so that's where your bacteria and all that stuff starts to grow. And that's really the problem, is whatever you're draining gets into the sewer. So it could be a clothes washer, and you got a blockage. The clothes washer goes in, the water can't get out, so it comes back. But now that sudsy water has mixed with all the waste of your home, and now it's up on your floor. And that's a confusion that we see a lot, where, I see suds water. It just must be my washer or my dishwasher. No big deal. I throw some towels on it. No.
Right. You think your washing machine just backed up.
Right.
You just need to clean that up.
Yeah. And if I wasn't in this trade and I did a totally different trade, I would think the same thing. But that is not the case. It's almost like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Right.
You got the suds on the top, but the water on the floor is the actual bacteria, category 3 black water.
Well, when that happens, how is someone supposed to know? Because I'm assuming if it went down into the thing and it's coming back in the not dishwasher, in the washing machine, like, how are you supposed to know that was a backup and not just the washing machine overflowing?
So usually the backup will happen at the lowest drain in the home. So if you don't have a basement, you're like a slab on grade or a crawl space, you'll have a floor drain somewhere and the water's coming up there. That is an indicator it got into the sewer and coming up.
Got it.
Or you have a basement, there's going to be another floor drain. If there's not a floor drain, it'll be like a shower or a toilet, and it's coming up there but not coming up anywhere else in the home. And that is an indicator it made it to the sewer and she's coming back. Now, if you have like a kitchen sink that's up on a second floor and nothing in the home is backing up but that kitchen sink, not really going to be black water. It's just going to be that kitchen sink.
Got it. Okay, so that's a good point there. So if you have a backup in the lowest level of the home, whether it's a bathtub, a shower, a toilet, a sink, a washing machine, if it's isolated just to that and you're not going and checking the other places, then like you probably okay.
Probably okay.
And definitely if you're in like the upper levels of the home and there's no backup downstairs, then you're definitely okay. But if you are having things come up in multiple spots in that lowest level of the home, then probably chances are that's a contamination issue, and you need to not just dry it up, you need to have somebody come out and look at it.
Yeah, and there's, the easy tells if it's black or it looks really nasty. Definitely have it looked at. But the thing about the professionals is they have other tools. They don't just come in and look at it. They have specific tools that can actually test what the water is. And so let's just say you had a really nasty set of clothes that went in the laundry and it backed up, but it was an isolated incident, so it looks like black water. They can test it and be like, no, that's not the worst thing in the world. We'll just clean this up and be good. And so the reason for having a professional is they have the tools to tell you what you're up against, and then you can take the proper steps to getting it cleaned up, however it needs to be cleaned up.
Gotcha. So if you are a homeowner and you have experienced a backup in that lowest level of the home, whether it's severe or not, whether it like went all over the place or just a small area, you shouldn't just ignore it. You should have a remediation company come out and at least test and see how dangerous the water is. And then I would take it a step further and say, if you've had some kind of backup that caused that problem, I would have someone come and send a camera down the sewer line to see if there's something that caused that could reoccur, or that could eventually become a total blockage and you end up with a much, much larger problem.
Much larger, yeah. And that's exactly what my team does, is we inspect the underground lines, sewers, and things like that to see if there is anything permanent or anything in the future and help you get ahead of it, because there's no alarm for it. It doesn't let you know when it's coming back. You just walk into your basement, or if you have a slab on grade with no basement, it's coming into your kitchen and bedrooms. There's no way to tell when it is or when it isn't. But our camera equipment does gives you a good idea of what you're up against.
And then if there is a problem, you can give them options to fix it.
Yeah, any kind of options. There's nothing that can't be fixed, but you definitely have to know what kind of problem you're up against.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for joining us, Jesse. Any final thoughts on this?
No, man. I this is something that really burned into my mind years ago, and I've watched it over the years. Just a little easy education. Keep your family safe.
Right. Thanks to everyone listening, watching, however you're consuming the show. This has been another episode of In the House. I've been your host, Mike Wilson. Jesse's been my guest. Till next time, see ya.